If your business sells multiple products and you're not offering upsells to your customers, then you're missing out on a ton of potential revenue. In this video, I'm going to share 3 ways to upsell more products to your customers with email marketing, because email marketing is one of the easiest ways to do upsells. And what this is going to allow you to do is increase the lifetime value of your customers, which increases the return on your investment for customer acquisition and also gives you more money to reinvest in ads, so that way you can acquire even more customers over time. Now, when it comes to doing upsells, you could just start sending them emails after they make a purchase and pitch them on random products. And yeah, you'll probably get some sales doing that, but you're not going to tap into near as much potential as you could if you're being a little bit more thoughtful about it in connecting the original purchase to the upsell. So what I want to do is I want to share 3 ways to think about what potential upsells you could offer customers. And if you don't have other products that you could offer them, this will give you ideas for products that you could develop for the purpose of increasing lifetime value from your customers by getting more sales from your existing customers. So the first way to think about this is think about how your customers could get more out of their original purchase. So how could they get more value, more use, more convenience, more function, whatever the case is. And the easiest way for this is to have accessories that tie into the main products that you sell. So for example, we work with a client that sells an outdoor play structure for kids, and then they have a bunch of add-ons that people can buy to customize those play structures that allow their kids to play with them in different ways. And it ends up completely changing the play structure where, depending on which add-ons they get, it's going to make the structure way bigger. Depending on, some of these things take up a lot more space. So for people who have bigger yards, they're going to be open to some of these things that take up way more space. But a lot of it is more about just the way the kids can play, the creativity it opens up, the different type of like physical challenges that it opens up with these different add-ons. And by doing it in this way, where they get the main structure and then they have these add-ons, it's really great because it allows the customers to customize the experience they get. And so for example, if they were just to package everything into one package, it would increase the price even more to where customers are paying way more upfront for that first purchase, which is going to deter a lot of people because, for one, the cost, but then 2, a lot of people are not going to want the same accessories. So they would have to just select, which ones do they think people are going to want the most. And so in this case, what they do is, and the original structure is a pretty high price point for most people. So, and they can already get a ton of use out of it as is without having to add on these accessories. But by having these other accessories, it's a way for the brand to continue to get more sales from their existing customers. Because again, if everything was solved with just the play structure itself, then they have no way to get repeat sales from people, because this is not something that people are going to buy very often. They might refer other people to the brand and recommend the product, and maybe in some cases they might buy it as a gift for someone else. But typically this is something that they're going to have this for years and years, and it's not something that they individually will need to buy again. So having these accessories helps the brand get more sales from their customers, but it also allows the customers to get more use out of the original play structure and allows them to customize this play structure over time. So, accessories, this is one of the, the biggest ways and easiest ways to get upsells. And you see it all the time with a lot of the common items that we buy. If you just think about your phone, for example, it's a, $1,000+ purchase, and then you're upsold on all kinds of different phone cases and chargers and other accessories for that phone. But you want to have different options because not everyone wants the same style of case or the same style of headphones or whatever the case is, right? So again, having accessories for your main products is one of the simplest ways to get upsells. Another way to think about how to upsell people would be that if you sell products around a particular hobby or something that people gain interest in, that maybe they have a newfound interest in this hobby, and now you can capture that newfound interest to sell them products that are more niche to people who are already into that hobby. So for example, we have a client that we work with that sells custom motorcycle parts. And for someone who is just customizing their bike for the very first time, they tend to go for either something that's super easy to do, like, changing out the lights on their bike, just give their bike a cooler look. It's a really easy install. It's not intimidating at all if they have no experience working on their bike. Or they'll go for one of the big performance upgrades, like an exhaust system, because it's going to immediately increase the performance of their bike. It's going to change the way their bike sounds. It looks cool. It sounds cool. But then there's all these other parts that they could get for their bike that people who are new to the hobby aren't going to know about and aren't going to care about. So there's a lot of parts that are going to affect the stability of the ride, so just make it a safer ride, or going to affect the comfort of the ride. These are things that other people on the road wouldn't notice. And again, someone who's new to the hobby might not even notice or think about these things. So it wouldn't make sense for them to lead with those products. It makes more sense to lead with the products that people already have a lot of interest in. It's going to give them that quick win of feeling like, oh, wow, I got this really cool upgrade for my bike. And then as they ride more and more and they get more into the hobby, they're going to naturally have this new interest that you can capture to get these other parts that, again, they wouldn't care about if they were just new to it. And then the last thing to think about here for upsells would be products that complement the original purchase. So this would apply to a lot of categories, but something where we do a lot of this is with clothing brands, where it could be where whenever people buy certain staple items, whether that's like pants, t-shirts, the things that you're wearing all the time, the things that people tend to have a lot of different versions of, a very easy and simple upsell would just be getting them to buy different colorways of the product that they originally purchased, because if they like what they bought, they're probably going to want it in different colors. Another easy and simple upsell to do would be different styles of products. So if you know that when people buy polos, that they're also more likely to be interested in your button downs and things like that. So whenever you think through these connections to where, okay, they already bought this, and of course, this is assuming that you have a good quality product and people are happy with products, that now you look at, okay, how can we, if they like one item of clothing, how can we enhance their entire wardrobe, and kind of go down the line of what makes the most sense based on which thing they purchase. So when thinking through all of these upsells, you want to have multiple options and paths that people could potentially take. You don't have to start with that, but if you have a lot of products, that's where you want to get to, where you start to figure out whenever people buy certain items, which items they would be more interested in, whether it adds more value to their purchase, whether it just complements their original purchase, or maybe it's just capturing this new interest they have. And so really it's not as complicated as it sounds, but just by putting in a little bit of thought and just being strategic in how you do these upsells, you're going to see a way bigger boost in performance much faster. And also you're just going to deliver a better customer experience for people. So if you want to elevate your email marketing and not have to worry about coming up with the ideas for all this stuff and managing all the details to steadily increase your sales from email month after month, then use the link below to schedule an exploratory call with me and to see if we're a good fit to take over your email marketing for you.